can tell you how our involvement came about, and that was about, probably about 11:20 on Friday evening. I got a call from one of our lieutenants. He had been informed by the on-duty shift commander that Bighorn County was requesting assistance with what he described as a riot in the jail down there. So they thought at the time there might have been hostages, maybe a detention officer, civilian employees within the facility. So we immediately sent two of our on-duty deputies down there. They just happened to be members of our tactical response team as well. When they got down there, they were able to update us as we were rounding up the rest of our tactical team, as well as we have a CERT team at the jail, our special emergency response team, and they're trained to do things like cell extractions, safely in high-risk situations, and use less lethal munitions and gas and stuff like that. So as they're rallying up and getting ready to head down there, we got information back that they had secured the common area of the jail where the workers were. One was injured, a detention officer was injured and sent to the hospital, but it was determined that they had secured the rest of the inmates within the secure area. So there wasn't any concern at that time, or not much concern about any more escapes, but they weren't sure. They thought possibly two or three had gotten out the main entrance at one point before they were able to get the door secured again. By that time, they'd set up a pretty good perimeter. I know they had BIA, I think somebody said Northern Cheyenne Police, Bighorn County, obviously. Highway Patrol was down there. And after we got down there, we come up with a plan to go in and just basically take back control of the jail. I talked to the sheriff down there. He gave us kind of a layout of the facility. We put together a team, actually two teams. Our tactical response team went in as more as cover, both lethal and less lethal munitions. We had gas available. We didn't need that. We also had what we call pepperball guns, which are a paintball gun that actually shoots OC, and we didn't need any of that. I know it was reported someplace. It got back to me that we had used some sort of maybe the pepperball guns, but that didn't occur.
Sheriff Linder, sounds like you're pretty pleased with the way your deputies and all responded to help provide backup in addition to some other law enforcement agencies.
Oh, absolutely. We can be very proud of our law enforcement here in our community as well as around the state, because I did have another sheriff send me a text saying, hey, let me know if you need more help. And so that was awesome to hear, too. But when we got down in there, and you mentioned taking it very seriously, everybody down there was on the lookout. I know that the sheriff down there had requested Highway Patrol to kind of monitor the area around there, kind of have our back, in case these guys decided to come back or whoever might show up to maybe try to pick them up or something. So, everybody was thinking about the possibilities, not knowing if somebody might have come down from Billings or from around the area down there to pick them up. How well this was planned, we just don't know. But, one of the first obstacles we ran into was they attempted to barricade the door that we were going to go into, which is basically the only access that was available. So the one thing that we did deploy was a flashbang, and as you know, that's a pretty loud noise and a kind of a concussion that we would use to drive them back so that we could spend 30 or 40 seconds to get the door cleared and get through into the main cell block. And as they were going in, it was very, very clear that these guys were sending a message that telling them to get down, very, very well organized, choreographed as they went in, and tactical team members provided cover, and the CERT team took them out individually, searched them, removed some articles of clothing that might have had some type of contraband or might have been able to hide some, and they were taken out to two waiting school buses that had been warmed up and waiting for them. So we had one bus for the males and one bus for the females. Basically had no problems. One little problem on the bus where one of the inmates was trying to kind of incite them a little bit. He was taken off the bus and put in another vehicle. So just sending a message that we weren't playing around. And then while we basically guarded them or stood by, the staff at the detention facility went right to work to do what repairs they needed to at the time and clean up so that they could be placed back in there, which was pretty much done by about 6 o'clock in the morning.